news. This is something that I never watched, and I think it's been about maybe over 10 years until I took this stance on why I don't watch the news. Now, a lot of the times we think about news as right, it's going to inform you, but in actuality you're consistently misinformed, and I think a lot of people don't realise the detriments as to what news really does to you. So ever since I stopped watching the news, I just realised that my state of mind was better. See, when you're watching the news all the time, you're going to feel negative. Now, there's going to be many of you that don't see an issue with it. You think, well, I'd watch the news, it's fine. I'm always keeping on track of things. It doesn't mean don't be aware of anything that's going on in the world, but you've got to understand what it's doing to you on a subconscious level. If you look at the tones that they use as well, it makes you feel negative. When was the last time you watched the news and thought, yeah, I feel in a really good mood after this, I'm in a good state of mind? Doesn't really happen. And I'm going to explain something in a bit more detail that you should definitely consider, especially if you're someone who wants to, just be in a good state of mind. You want to build businesses, you're interested in personal growth, you want to become the best version of yourself. You've got to stack the odds in your favor, and you've got to stack things in a way that is not detrimental to your mindset. So this is the part that you need to think about. Like attracts like. I'm sure you've heard of that before. The reason why you tend to get on with certain individuals is because they're on the same wavelength, they're on the same page. Like attracts like. You've heard of that before. Well, I want you to understand it from a frequency point of view, and then you'll understand my point about the news. If you know that the news is always a negative tone, it is designed to make you feel fearful, it is designed to make you feel negative, you will naturally be on a lower vibration. Now, when you're on a lower vibration, you will feel things like guilt, shame, misery, blame, victim, anger, frustration, all of these type of emotions. That will be the level of consciousness that you will be at. So in a nutshell, you're not going to be in a great state of mind. So you couldn't possibly trust yourself to just make good decisions in life. Now, when you're in an enlightened state of mind, that is a high vibration frequency. Think about frequencies are trying to attract each other. So the reason why they say like attracts like is because the frequency attracts the frequency. So high vibrational frequencies attract high vibrational frequencies. So when you hear things like misery loves company, now you might be able to understand what that means. Yes, misery loves company because they're both on the same frequency. So if someone is miserable, they're going to be attracted to someone else who is also miserable. That's why you tend to find people that want to blame the world for everything. They're going to be attracted to people that also share that same vibration, that same frequency. Right, so just stopped off in Costa. I'm going to grab a quick cappuccino, and then I want to talk to you about a bit of an exercise that I think will be really, really valuable. Actually, I'll just talk to you about it now. It's really simple. Next time, just for a bit of self-awareness, you want to make sure that the people that are around you are not encouraging you to be or feel negative, because if you do that, you're going to be in a position where you're constantly wondering why you feel the way that you feel. And usually when you remove that away from your environment, it sorts out. So I have a little task for you. Just got a caramel cappuccino, and a little task for you for those of you that are in these kind of situations. So maybe you're in a toxic environment. It could be at home, it could be at work, whatever it really is. But I would encourage you to have the self-awareness to realise that you might be one of these people that you seem to be in a bad mood all the time and you don't really know why. Yeah, it's probably your environment, it's probably the people that are around you. And if they're negative, that's rubbing off on you. Like, I'm so protective with my energy, I won't surround myself with people that are not on the same wavelength. I really won't, because I know how sticky it is and how detrimental it is, especially when you're trying to achieve a lot of things in your life. You can't afford to have this negative energy dragging you down. It's a waste. You will waste years being around the wrong people that will drag you down. You'll watch the news and you'll find it in common. People are naturally quite negative and miserable. They watch the news, they look at the same things, they think the same, they talk the same, they walk the same, they complain about the same shit, they complain about the weather, they complain about absolutely everything. They're not in a state of gratitude. If you was in a state of gratitude, you'd be enlightened, you'd be in a higher vibration. What a coincidence that if you're grateful in life, and you can do this as a quick trick, right? If you're listening to this for the first time, wake up every day and start to genuinely think about the things that you are grateful for. Not just, oh, I'm grateful for my family. No, really think about it, like situations. Grateful for the smallest of things. If you can do that, you're already winning. if you want to live by something, and this is something I always live by, there's nothing wrong with striving towards achieving big things. Like, I achieve big things. I'm always striving towards being the best version of myself, or really accomplishing things. But you need to be the kind of person that is not affected by all of these things that are around you. You need to almost build like a shield or a bubble around you to protect your energy. And how I've done that is by this one saying: desire the most but need the least. So if you can be the type of person that desires the most, which means that you can be extremely ambitious, great. But at the same time, when you need the least, which means that you don't need too many fancy things to perform at your best, you will see so much more happiness come into your life, more than what you could possibly imagine. You'll have a power inside of you that you didn't even think that was there, because you're now not leveraged by these superficial things that don't really add as much value as what you think.